Hello and welcome to Little Jimmy's favorite podcast, Fedcast, coming to you from parts unknown. My name is Steve, and with me as always,
Justin.
And we're here to talk to you about the wacky world of wrestling for the week of March 11th, 2013. Haha.
There you go.
I got it.
You get it like what?
Most of the time.
Most
of the time.
Good enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're like a 500 batter, you get into the Hall of Fame, so.
It's true. I'm in the Hall of Fame of wrestling podcasters.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, there's
That's
no
a
building,
thing.
but then again, the WWE Hall of Fame doesn't have a building either.
That's true. But when do I get my ring?
Will a Cracker Jack box ring suffice?
It will.
Okay, well, I'll get it to you next week then.
All right then. And I apologize for the sound in advance. Forgot to do that beforehand.
I just opened my drink.
Yeah, but
we won't say the name because they're not sponsored.
No, screw them. But if they want to, Arizona. Fuck it, I want money.
It's funny because I listen to a sports podcast and they do the exact same thing. They open it up and then they refuse to say the name, but then they do anyways.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I figure I should just keep in the line of long line of podcasters who do exactly what they said they won't.
Yep.
So
there you go.
I'm right on track to being normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Fair enough.
We're splitting the show this week.
Yes.
Half TNA, half WWE.
So if you hate TNA, we apologize.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happened. Sorry.
It's what we got to do, guys. Yep. Pay-per-view.
Yes.
1 of 4 this year.
Yeah.
So.
We will get to that.
Yep. But first,
yes,
we start with the go-home show.
We do.
Previous to lockdown. TNA Impact from last Thursday.
Yeah, and I gotta say, we were talking about it, I think, last week, where they don't really sell the matches.
They do it on the go-home show.
Yeah, but not really. Because it seemed to me, I mean, maybe I wasn't paying that much attention to the go-home show, but there was a lot of matches at the pay-per-view that were not listed.
Oh, no, they do that. They do.
It was crazy.
They name, 4 matches and the rest are thrown on the show.
It was just
they've been doing
weird.
it for years.
Yeah.
It's just the way they do things.
See, I'm new to this kind of thing, so I'm not... this was all new to me, so it was weird.
This was also the last one in the Impact Zone.
Yes, it was.
They are now doing On Road as of tomorrow.
Which, as we found from the pay-per-view, probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because your crowd actually seemed to give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
we start the show.
Yep.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
He's angry.
He's very angry.
He's angry and he's not going to take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he's followed by the voyeur camera going, I'm going to go to the ring, I'm going to show you, because he knows the VP of Ace and Ace.
Yeah.
And we find out later on the show. Mm-hmm. We start off with Austin Aries versus Jeff Hardy.
We do. Can't believe they started the show with this, but it was good.
Aries just came out. He wants a match.
Yep.
He gets his match.
Yes, he does.
It's a match.
And it's a damn good match.
Jeff Hardy's really got to stop going out to the crowd with his eyes closed trying to high-five people.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that at the pay-per-view. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. There's no point in leaving it till later.
It's creepy.
Jeff Hardy closed his eyes and high-fived through the crowd at the pay-per-view and bumped into the cameraman.
Yep.
That was fucking funny.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it was bound to happen. It just...
They got, that much room, an inch.
Oh, no, it made sense, but it was just funny to watch him hit and just sort of go, what the fuck? And then just sort of go back to doing what he did. But it was kind of funny. I just sort of went, why did he bump into that guy? I'm like, oh, yeah, his eyes are closed.
Yeah. But a good match.
Yeah,
I mean,
very good
they
match,
build it as Hardy Aries 4, which it is, but they got to stop remembering them at this point, because these guys are going to wrestle probably a bunch in the next couple of years.
Aries Hardy 32 next year. It's going to be awesome.
So, and then Matt Morgan came out.
Yeah.
And punted the shit out of Jeff Hardy's head.
Yeah, I don't see the point, but alright. I mean,
he
said it, but it was
the
just...
world champion, and he wants to put a target on him.
I'm going to say Thunderlips is a little out of left field here.
Yeah, well,
it
we
just
seen
seemed
him,
to...
so he kind of just showed up with a Grizzly Adam beard, and...
Yeah, it just seemed really weird.
And then Bully Ray comes out to defend Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
With the chain wallet.
The chain wallet Zoom.
The most dangerous weapon in wrestling.
In wrestling.
Today.
Yeah.
The chain wallet.
And
it strikes the fear into the hearts of men,
bikers
women, and
everywhere.
children.
Yeah.
And bikers.
Bikers everywhere.
Yeah. So that happened. Good match to start off the show.
Oh, yeah.
Which
is
it was
yeah, I mean, they actually started the show with a match, which made me go, what am I watching?
But good for them.
Yeah.
This led to Sting doing a pep talk. for Team TNA.
Yeah, it did.
Because you're in
Yeah,
the team
you're
because
this,
you're a
and
killer, and you're on
You're
the
on
team
this because you're a
cool.
wild card, and you're on the team because you're, I don't know, fucking whatever you are.
Because you're
It was
here.
just- yeah.
That was for James Storm.
It really was. It's because you got nothing better to do, and it was...
Then you're all out of beer, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. No, that was weird. That was such
Yeah.
a weird fucking thing.
And
But
then
whatever.
Sting doing this crazy, yeah, showtime! It's showtime!
He was,
Woo!
yeah, he was happy.
He was fired up.
He was fucking ready to go.
He
It
took
was,
his happy pills this morning.
he really did. It was kind of scary a little bit. I
So,
was just like, okay, the old man needs to get off the meds or
Yep.
on them. I don't know.
That led to Matt Morgan explaining his actions.
Yes.
He's going to keep knocking off Hogan's guys until he gets what he wants.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'm not really sure that Jeff Hardy was Hogan's guy, but
Eh,
whatever.
He's a good guy.
he's our
Good enough.
He's the super face, so
So then we lead to Wes Briscoe
yep.
cutting an angle, on angle, or promo on angle.
Yeah.
He's
Whatever.
green. He's nervous when he talks in public.
Oh god, he's disturbing, but whatever. It's
He
fine.
stumbles over his words.
Very much.
But
He's
new.
like me on the podcast.
Yeah, he's
Except
new.
I'm not in front of a live audience. I'm
Wow.
just doing this rinky-dink little podcast.
They get the same numbers.
That's very true. That's very true.
TNA really does have the 10s and 10s.
A little bit. Yeah.
I mean, that changed Sunday, but still.
It did, yeah, but whatever.
So Angle comes out
Mhm.
mad because they're going to have a match. These guys did have
They
a match
are,
at
yeah.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
But he was mad because he knows the identity that
Yes.
he's going to reveal.
Yeah.
And he was very, very upset.
Which is so fucking weird because, like, if you know, why wouldn't you just scream it from the rafters?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know, it's wrestling and they have to sort of build tension, but it's like, I'm sorry, if it's this big a deal,
Yeah.
the first thing you would see is Kurt Angle being like, hey, guess who it is, bitch? But
Yeah.
no, that's not what happened. He's like, you'll find out later tonight. I'm like, what? Okay.
No, I think they knew right then.
Was it then?
Yeah, because they
I swear to
rumbled.
God, I thought
they
it said-
rumbled.
Oh, right,
And then the
okay,
agents
yeah,
came
you're right,
down.
you're right, you're
D'Lo
right.
came down.
Yeah.
Simon
It was a-
Diamond came down.
It was a long time ago.
And Al
right.
Snow
Yeah.
came down.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
a big rumble.
Yeah.
And he was screaming, "It's him! It's him! It's
Yeah.
him!" And then D'Lo attacks.
Right, yes, now I remember. Yeah, you're right,
And
Yeah,
then they laid out
Yeah, that
Kurt
was
Angle,
really
they
good.
laid out Al Snow, they laid out Simon Diamond.
Yeah, and actually,
Now-
now that I think about it, yeah, that was really cool when he's just like literally they're holding him back and he's pointing like, dude.
And then it turns out D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, D'Lo Brown, he's in good shape by the
He
looks
does,
of
yeah,
him.
he looks good, and I hope this means he'll be doing some wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I want to address the elephant in the room?
Well, no, I mean that was a long time
It
ago.
was a long time ago, but it is a sore spot for some people. Yes, the man made a mistake and crippled Draws.
Yeah.
Draws has forgiven him, so should everybody else, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it's been.
I don't
time
know.
to heal all
I've
wounds.
heard people really still pissed about it.
Well, people are mad at D'Lo just because they don't think he can wrestle.
I think he's fine.
I mean, that's like the funny thing is. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's not funny for Josh, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying the whole reason people don't like him is because they don't think he can wrestle. It's not
Yeah.
that he accidentally.
I don't know. I've heard people that are really sore about it still, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. I never hated D'Lo.
I never hated him.
Like he's not the best guy on any roster anywhere, and he never will be. But he's serviceable.
And it doesn't make them terrible.
No.
Like I've seen a couple people say it makes them even worse. No, it doesn't. Actually.
No. I mean, he's
It
fine.
adds some veteran talent
Yeah.
to help guys like Wes
Exactly.
and Garrett.
Like, say what you will about D'Lo, but I mean, again, the man has knowledge. He might want to pass it on to these two.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm about to at the pay-per-view, I will give credit to Briscoe somewhere, which is shocking to me that I actually am. Not so much to Wes, but
he's learning.
Yeah, Briscoe did a decent job, but yeah, no, I mean D'Lo, it's fine.
It's
I mean, it's nothing. It's certainly to me. I think I was hoping for a little better.
Right.
I like D'Lo. Like I said, I've been defending
like another
D'Lo.
name, or
Yeah, just another name.
But who are you gonna get?
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
I mean, there was no. The more I think about it, the more I think
do you
that this
shell
was
out
the
more
only one.
money and get someone on the outside, or
Well,
do you
no, they
go to
can't-
in-house talent?
Well, that's the thing. They can't really shell out any more cash. Like I think they're sort of they're sort of tapped out as it is. So yeah, no, I knew they were going to go in-house. So, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe I would have liked maybe a more active worker.
Right.
But I mean, if this makes D'Lo an active worker, then
Yeah,
all
because
good,
he looks
right?
like he's in wrestling.
Yeah,
shape.
he looks
You know
like
what I mean?
he
So-
looks like he's been training. So if this gives them another wrestler, because they need another wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to make this a legitimate NWO thing, they're going to need another wrestler to take on the entire TNA locker room
Yep.
because it looks like that's what their plan is.
Yeah.
You can't just have them going after every face.
Exactly.
Can't do it. So, whatever.
So there you go. And they celebrate in the back.
Yeah.
D'Lo gives a speech saying, I'm with these guys, these are my brothers.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, he said, yeah. Yeah. I had to laugh, though, the package about that. I think it was like literally 5 minutes after the speech D'Lo gave, they replayed it, which was just weird. I'm like, why would you do that? But whatever.
Just in case they missed it at home.
Yeah, it just seemed a little out of place. But whatever, that's
this led to Devon versus Sting.
Yep.
I'm glad to see those guys are wearing, I don't know if it's less clothing, but they look more mobile.
Well, that was the thing. Devon was only wearing a t-shirt and the vest.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They're not wearing sweaters.
Yeah, sweaters and jackets, and I don't like the fact that they're wrestling in jeans.
Right.
I noticed mostly...
Is it jeans, or is it like a material that looks like jeans, but it's actually a wrestling
I don't
attire?
know, because I would say it's probably jeans because specifically Anderson looks really hindered by it.
Right.
He's not doing most of his moves, and it just seems like because most of them are probably a little more athletic than he's capable of right now with what he's wearing. Or it could just be because he's a heel and he's not supposed to do, cool more awesome moves because you don't want the fans to be, cheering him.
Yeah. So Devon wins because of interference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. It helped promote Team TNA versus Team
Ace and Eights, which you need, so it's good.
Velvet and Gale had
an
issue with Taryn Terrell in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So that led to
what?
tag team match. Six woman match. Which did help promote the pay-per-view.
It certainly did. It helped. I don't know. I paid no attention. I'm sorry.
But
I wanted to pay attention. No,
because mainly because it was Velvet, Chavo, and Hernandez versus Bad Influence and Gale, but Bad Influence didn't get a really chance to speak.
Yeah, Bad Influence did very little, and me.
They did win. The bad guys won. Bad Influence and Gale.
And I can't stand Chavo and Hernandez. So I like Hernandez. I just can't stand Chavo to the point where I won't really. I pay very little attention when he's in the ring.
And in between those two segments, there was the little backstage gut check segment where they replaced Taz with Danny Davis, which was smart.
Finally, they did it. I thought they should have done it last time, though. They should have done it last week.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't have done it last week. But whatever. At least they did it now. It's rectifying.
They called him out. They said, listen, we obviously can't have a guy who's...
and Aces and Eights calling the shots
and
here.
And speaking of gut check, this goes back. You need to remember that Al Snow was out. And D'Lo was in when they brought in Wes Briscoe.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, bringing D'Lo in as VP actually makes sense.
It
because
does.
If he's the reason why Wes Briscoe's in the company.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know what? That's true. Yeah.
Now, what they should have done, I guess, being what it is bring all the Ace and Eights members throughout the past 6 months in through gut check. But, I guess that's too much foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's a little,
But even still, Velez, Elise Velez.
Yes.
Ivelisse Velez is out.
Velez,
the one who won the match last week is out.
Yeah.
And I guess Lady Tappa moves on, but does she get a contract? We'll see.
No, not yet. But...
that happened later on in the show.
Yeah.
But we get to Sting, Joe, and Magnus
at
each other's throats because Magnus can be trusted. I don't know. And the typical
bullshit.
Because he was a heel and now he's a face.
It's tired.
They are pushing Magnus though.
They are. They're definitely giving him a huge push since he came back. But I don't know. I'm not a big Magnus guy. I think he's all right, but I don't know. Maybe if his push is like. Middle,
like TV title.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see like world title. That just wouldn't work for me.
More AJ stuff.
Yep.
Them following him around.
Yeah, this is getting more and more ridiculous already.
He was talking to a biker. I don't know if it was an Ace and an Eights. I don't.
No, that's too
easy. They didn't call it
out.
That's
too easy. They would have called it out if it was. Yeah. That's just too easy. I think. I don't think he's going to Aces and Eights. I think he's just going to be a loner.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is.
And he just gets in the camera's face.
Yeah.
And then they had Ace and Eights, Doc and Nux. Versus Joe and Magnus.
Yeah.
It's not Knox anymore, it's Nux.
Nux, yeah. That has been throwing me off since they started saying it.
Yeah. Joe and Magnus win, because these guys were a tag team like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I think they were tag team champions. So
maybe, yeah. So you
can kind of see the chemistry that was in that match.
I mean, they definitely, during the match, the commentators, when they, woke up, were literally just saying, like, these two have been a good tag team, and, they're really good at what they do, blah, blah, blah. They were pushing them a little bit,
right.
So.
Speaking of commentators, Taz really needs to pick...
Yeah.
Because he's fine when it's a match not involving Ace and Eights. He's not face Taz.
No.
He kind of gets a couple jabs in, but he's more jokey with the two guys.
He's really nice to them, and then
then as soon as Ace and Ace is on the TV or they're talking about Ace and Ace, he turns into this
and then he's just like,
heel.
You can't touch me, I'll punch you, but you can't touch me, I'm Teflon Taz, blah, blah, blah. So either be a fucking heel or don't. Like,
this was the Michael Cole problem.
Michael
Cole was on the fence.
Exactly, yeah.
To their credit, they picked a side and made him heel.
Yeah.
So this time they should just make him a heel.
I mean,
have him even talk up the heel wrestlers not in Ace.
Yes, that would be perfect. Like that's what I like. I love heel commentators. I love them. And actually, I got to say, with Michael Cole, I find it really interesting because of the fact that he's not the color commentator.
Right.
He's the straight man, but he's a heel. I find that interesting. Michael Cole, not that great.
But if you do it with someone with a little more talent...
Yeah, like,
JR
would have been really good if it was possible, but, I mean...
JR was a heel.
Was he?
For a bit.
When?
Remember
him
and Dr. Death had their own separate
I remember
booth?
that.
It was very, very brief.
Very brief. Like,
but he was
extremely brief,
But he was a heel, and that worked.
Yeah, no, it worked, and I like that kind of thing. But
we're comparing Jim Ross to Cole,
which is just not possible.
Apples to fucking chocolate bars.
Yeah, exactly, But, it's just, Taz
needs to pick a side.
I mean, I've never been a big fan of Taz. Like, Taz is a terrible commentator. Like, let's just say it. He's horrible.
Yeah.
And I do like some of the things he does. Like, when he is talking up Aces and Eights, he's really good.
Yeah, when he's doing that,
he's entertaining as fuck. And even when, like, Aces and Eights are out there and he's going on and on about, like, it was, specifically in the pay-per-vью I noticed this. I thought that was really fucking good, which was, he was talking about, oh no, was it in the... Oh, it doesn't matter, really. Where they were talking and talking and talking, he's like, and, by the way, even though no one asked, here's what I think about fighting, Bully Ray. And then later on, he's like, I know you're still not asking, but here's what it's like to fight Jeff Hardy. I thought that was really good. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that he needs to keep doing. But again, as you said, as soon as it's no longer Aces and Eights, it becomes flat out Taz as we've normally had him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't stick with the heel move, so it's kind of bullshit. Yeah.
So that leads Kenny King, just saying how he's going to keep the X-Men title and going to take it away from him.
Yeah, okay.
Atypical promo.
Yeah, what else is new?
We get Sting.
Yep.
Who's picking either Storm or EY to fight Anderson in the main event.
Yep.
And Eric Young cuts a really good promo.
He does, actually.
Where he's just like, I know I've been known to be a funny guy, but I'm dead serious now about this thing. It's just like, and if you're waiting for a punchline, it ain't coming.
That was awesome. That was a fantastic promo. That was an excellent line. Well done, sir.
And then Sting picks Storm.
Well, because, I mean, what else would you expect? I mean, also, it's James Storm. He's very much a fan favorite. You got to throw him out there. And I think it was probably good that they held off Eric Young until later.
Yeah, so later on we get Storm vs. Anderson in the main event. But for now, Lady Tappa has to plead her case, and the fans booed her out of the building.
Well, it's because she sucked. I'm sorry.
Booed her out of the building.
Put it this way, your family doesn't make you a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And she was not good. Neither one of them were good, in all fairness. They were not really impressive. But I don't understand Gut Check at all. Like, they can plead their case? Like, this bullshit.
Well, they say why they should, and then if they get a single no, they have to explain to the other two why you shouldn't say no as well.
Yeah.
Which is basically it.
Yeah.
But she got booed so, and obviously it's obviously predetermined, so she was gonna get a yes, 2 yeses, and that's fine. But it made it look awkward.
Because the fans fucking hate her.
And even the guys have to, even know what the fans think.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, I mean, in all fairness,
still have to say yes.
They did cover it well with that, where he's just like, the fans have to... Because it did give the... What's the word I'm looking for? It gave you the sense that he's just like, look, we have a plan, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's all set, it's fine. Whether that was bullshit, probably. But... I don't think they expected the fans to hate her that much. And I don't even understand why they hated her that much. Yeah, sure, she kind of sucked, but whatever.
Well, that's fans for you.
Yeah, I guess.
That's one of the strongest reactions I've ever heard in the Impact Zone.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, maybe they should rethink shit if the Impact Zone hates her, because the Impact Zone is usually pretty blasé about everything. Yeah. Except for Jeff Hardy.
Also, credit to Bruce Pritchard for mentioning Paul Bearer. Because obviously those guys have history.
Yeah, very much. So, and that was well done.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Robbie E versus Robbie T. That was booked for the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And fine.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy that they're finally blowing off the...
Yeah.
feud because it's a feud that I didn't want.
Nobody cared
and didn't want to see week in and week out.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm glad that they're not prolonging it. They're just doing one shot. I mean, I hope they're not prolonging it. I hope, but I mean,
well, we'll see after.
Yeah.
We got Anderson versus Storm.
Yep.
With Anderson winning.
Yep.
Due to interference, and it was a quick one too.
Yeah,
it was like he was kind of distracted, and then and then he hit him with the mic check, and then the clusterfuck happened with.
Which good.
With the Team TNA team.
It's kind of neat. It was needed. I mean, again, go home show, kind of necessary.
And then there was a little segment at the end there with Hardy, Bully, and Hogan. And Hogan really pushing for Bully Ray to win, and then that led us to TNA Lockdown. Emanating from San Antonio, Texas. The Alamo Dome looked pretty full.
No.
Well,
they only showed part of it.
You know what? They probably got a lot more people than I would have given. Credit for.
I mean, I was looking at it. I was definitely looking at it, going, "Wow, they got a lot of people in there." But how much of it didn't we see? That's my thought.
Of course, it's a big building.
Yeah, no, it's a huge fucking building. But they got more than I thought. But I still think that it was some camera trickery going on.
Of course, it's TNA. We get the X Division title up first. Christian York versus Z-Mine versus Kenny King.
Decent match.
Couple botches.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
but when you're flying around like that Kenny King's
oh Jesus,
smacked square into the thing.
Yeah, that was, and they unfortunately, why would they replay that?
Well, they figured it looked good enough for
replay. It really didn't. It just made me go, "Ow, motherfucker, that had to hurt."
Like, I don't see how springboarding off of somebody's going to give you.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. I never
that you would get from an actual springboard.
In case any of you listeners don't know what we're talking about, is basically what Kenny King did. Who's the other guy's name? I don't know. Z-Mine. So Z-Mine is sort of standing, sort of half. No,
he was like
well, I'm getting to that. He was standing, but like he was half leaning into the second rope, right? And basically, what Kenny King did was he jumped on top of Z-Mine's back and was going to do a moonsault. And as soon as he jumped on the back, he could see it wasn't really going to work because, human backs are going to move, especially with almost 200 pounds on you. As the second he tried to jump, he had absolutely no spring and just sort of folded as he was trying to do the flip and then just landed pretty much head first into the guardrail. Yeah. And it looked like he folded in half. It looked like it fucking hurt.
And he was down for a bit. Credit to him for getting off as quick as he did.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. And then, I mean, literally, 2 minutes later, redeemed himself completely with that, overcarry, help with the powerbomb thing going on. That was a beautiful move.
A couple trees of Towers of Doom.
Yeah, Towers of Doom.
That pay-per-view.
Oh, there was a lot of Towers of Doom in that fucking pay-per-view.
Christian York was alright.
Yeah.
Z-Mine was alright. Obviously, Kenny King was the star of it with his shotgun knees and his moves.
Yeah, he was.
And it was an X Division match. Unfortunately, though, these kind of are the X Division wrestlers. There's not much of a division.
Yeah,
we're going to see a lot of matches with these three guys, either all three of them or two of them.
Which is fine. I mean, I like them wrestling, although this match seemed a little slow for a pay-per-view, and for an X Division match, it seemed a little slow. But, kudos to them. They still did put on a decent show.
With Kenny King winning and retaining.
Yeah, and he actually surprised me the best when he won because of the, laying the belt, putting the belt around his waist and then lying and staring at the camera and being like, yeah, what up, that's mine. That was good.
His Mr. November pose.
Exactly, because remember I was saying when he first sort of showed up on the scene, I was like, I don't really understand if this guy's a heel or what.
No, he's full-blown heel.
He's full-blown heel, and he did a damn good job. I mean, he put the fucking belt on the ground and started doing the Dougie, so that was pretty damn impressive. I haven't seen that in a while, so that was good. I liked it.
We get Joseph Park interview.
Yes.
He's going to fight Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
And he's explaining things, and he's going to wrestle, and it's all good. And then Bad Influence comes in.
Of course.
And they cut their own promo. Bad Influence, probably the best tag team in TNA.
Definitely.
This side of Bobby Roode and Austin Aries.
Of course, yeah.
But we get to see that later.
Yes.
But that led into Joey Ryan versus Joseph Park. I just can't stand Joey Ryan. I mean, I get the gimmick. I get it.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This match just didn't do it.
And
it was just
it's
not
unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I want Joseph Park to do well. It's just they paired him with this retard, and it just they couldn't get anything off the ground, and you could see it. Although there was an excellent spot where Joey Ryan jumped off the turnbuckle
and landed
and tried to do like a cross body block and fucking landed into Joseph Park and then fell flat like he hit a tree. That shit was hilarious. but the match went nowhere. Yeah. It was slow. It was pointless.
They were trying to do comedy, and that's fine.
They were, but it just fell flat.
Joseph Hart trying to purple nurple him and then rip the body hair off.
Yeah, it was funny, sure, but it just went nowhere. It was so lackluster, and that makes me really sad because I like Joseph Hart.
Hart got the win.
Yeah.
So that's fine,
it was fine.
I guess, but
he's
seen better matches.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Bullying Brooke in the back. Bully's dreams are going to come true.
Yeah, he's very excited.
And he's, praying with Brooke, and then Hulk comes in and goes, listen, Hardy's cool. I like Jeff. He's a good guy, but his time's over. I want your time to be now.
Which, fair enough.
And he was showing bias, but he admitted that he was showing bias.
Yeah, he wasn't. And that was the thing. He definitely... You can tell he's an old school guy because he put Jeff over before he put Bully over. Excellent work.
And then he uses the Andre reference, boss, you can't win or lose, they got to remember you. And
there were 2 fucking Andre references that night. That's kind of weird, but whatever.
Knockout title?
Yep.
Gale versus Velvet.
Tried desperately to like this match.
More shenanigans with the referee.
Yeah.
This has got to lead somewhere, obviously.
That's the thing. I actually watched this match because my lady friend was watching it with me, and she wanted to see chicks wrestle and see how it was.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was not a good match. Although there was a couple good spots. Gail Kim getting slammed face first in the mat was impressive.
No.
But nothing really. I mean,
overall, nothing to write home about.
Gail Kim, I like. I really do like Gail Kim. I don't know Velvet Sky all that well. I don't. Right. She didn't impress me. That's for sure. She definitely didn't blow me away. She wasn't bad, but I wasn't blown away by any stretch. It was what it was, and the ending was
Velvet
interesting.
won,
yeah,
with the referee's help, kind of, but that's not her own fault. I mean, she got hit, so she was going to disqualify, and then she just went and
attacked. I mean, we've seen it 100 times.
Yeah,
I mean, ref gets pissed off and hits the wrestler. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's what it was.
We got Robbie E.
Yeah.
Cutting a promo.
Thank God this is
best over. And whatever. And bro this and bro that.
Yeah, he said a lot of bros in there. I wasn't paying any attention.
And then we get a match with him.
I think I went and took a leak. I really didn't care.
Him and Robbie T had a match. And Robbie T won. And
in all fairness,
they're obviously going to be pushing Robbie T because of his look and his size.
Oh, he was very much.
And he's probably going to be Rob Terry from this point. Yeah. Obviously, Robbie T.
Robbie E did a good job of being the chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
He did a really good job at that. That is pretty much the only compliment I can give this match is he did a great job as the chicken shit heel. It was a non-issue. It wasn't, again, this whole pay-per-view, and there was a couple moments that blew me away, but it was very average. Not terrible, but not great either.
Ayers and Rude?
Yes.
Ayers cut a promo saying, I can do it by myself.
Loved it.
But I'm not going to do it by myself. And then Rude shut up. And the reason why they did that is because before the show, Robert Roode's contract expired.
You're kidding.
So they
that explains a lot. Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, I didn't know until myself. Until recently.
Oh, really?
So, basically, I don't know if they got a deal now, but obviously they had a deal for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's definitely covered
That's
for
why
that.
Bobby Roode hasn't been there for a couple of years.
Actually, he's probably beyond that because they retained.
Yeah, so they did have the match, and it was a great match.
It was great. Yeah, no, this was one of the highlights, and even though it had Chavo in it, still one of the highlights.
Well, Chavo had one of the moments in the match when he did 2 out of 3 amigos on pretty much every one of the guys.
Yep,
and it was a cool
spot.
It was
cool.
He just kept doing it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I can't stand the guy, but give credit where credit's due. It was good.
And Super Mex flying around for a big guy.
Fucking impressive.
And
the couple times through the ropes, man, was just. I still don't understand how that big dude moves. He's getting into Samoa Joe territory where I just don't understand this man. I just don't get how you can do this.
And it was back and forth, and you really had it. Oh, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Because it was really back and forth. And then Austin Aries pulled it out of the end, and him and Rude retained, and it was a really great 6-man.
6.
So
it's good. And it was very good. It was entertaining. Hell of a match. Enjoyed it. Moving on.
Taryn Terrell, the referee for the knockouts, explained her actions.
Yeah, this I enjoyed it. I enjoyed quite a bit actually watching this. Is explaining her actions, and then Gail Kim comes running in and just fucking flattens her.
Just wailing.
And I mean, that's one of the hardest backstage hits I've ever seen. She fucking slammed into her and just started pounding the shit out of her. It's like, well done.
So we get an Ace promo describing everything.
Yep, well,
whatever. Over the past month or so.
Yeah, we get it.
Then we get Kurt explaining everything and
whatever.
How he's gonna wrestle. How he's gonna
Here's my fucking problem with this pay-per-view.
in the cage.
I don't know. I haven't seen Lockdown in like 3 years. Wasn't Lockdown's big thing is every match is in a cage?
That was the case up until this year, I think.
What the fuck? It didn't occur to me actually until match number 2 when I realized, hey, there's no cage right now. What the fuck is going on? Like it almost slipped in the back of my mind what I was watching. And I'm like, why the fuck? And then it wasn't until the next match that we're about to talk about that they finally put up the fucking cage.
They said after this match, every match will be contested in a steel cage. Yeah. And you know what? It's fine. Because I wouldn't have cared to see Robbie T and Robbie in a cage match. I wouldn't have cared to see Joey Ryan and Joseph Park in a cage match. Yeah. I don't really need to see the knockouts in a cage match. But
actually, I probably would have rather seen the knockouts in a cage match because I think they would have been able to use it.
I think the X Division guys would have used it.
Yes, they would have definitely used it.
And the tag guys would have used it.
For sure.
But the other 3 matches wouldn't have used it, so it kind of...
True. No, I understand that, but it just seems a little strange to me.
And yeah, it is strange because it's just the first time it's happened. Yeah. But give credit where credit's due, at least they put 3 matches in the cage, and unlike Elimination Chamber, where there was only 1...
Exactly. No, I'll definitely give them that credit. And again, the 3 matches that were in the cage, 2 of the 3 matches were really good. Mm-hmm. So,
We'll get to the not-so-good one right now. Kurt versus Wes Briscoe. Wes Briscoe's green.
Very much. And Kurt Angle could not carry him. Yeah. Which is odd, because Kurt Angle usually can carry anyone, but some guys might be a little beyond help. Yeah. I'm just going to say that.
But Wes won. Yeah. Due to the distraction of D'Lo Brown and D'Lo Brown pulling Wes out
that was really good.
Because Kurt won the match
Kurt
twice.
did win, yeah. And I actually really liked that, where it was just like Angle was out and walking out slowly. And then fucking D'Lo just shoves him the fuck back in, hits him with the door, and then just randomly pulls out Briscoe. Like,
yeah, no, you're comes to goes, oh, well, you're out of the cage, so I guess you win. Really
the ref bump was a little... it was a little sketchy, but whatever. I mean, they always are. The WWE and TNA, a wrestling referee is frankly the most fragile human being on the planet.
Very fragile.
They will, a stiff breeze will knock them over for a good chunk of time, so we all know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. We get match number 7 right afterwards. Yes. Team TNA versus Ace and Eights. Lethal Lockdown. Again, another change. Yeah. Lethal Lockdown used to be like when everybody gets in, the cage closes and it becomes a cell match. But this wasn't the case this year.
I've never seen the original. I like this format. Yeah. It's Royal Rumble in a cage. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool.
Well, it's War Games.
Yeah, basically. You're right. Yeah, fuck. How long it's been since I've seen it? Wow.
Well, it's been a long time since I've been on War Games. So, it's War Games, and it was good. Yeah. Team TNA, Team Mason Eights, they were all...
I liked the pace of the match, and then when Sting came in and brings in 2 trash cans full of weapons, that was awesome. Yeah. It was like, oh shit. And then Taz did an amazing job being the heel commentator, being like, oh my god, get these weapons out of them. What the hell is this?
This is assault.
Yeah, and then sure enough, as soon as Ace and Eights gets it, like, alright, now we're in business. Now, see, this is exactly what they're supposed to do. Perfect heel, shades of Heenan. That's how it's supposed to be done. No. But yeah, no, the match was
Everybody was good.
Everyone did what they did.
There was a big-ass tower of
doom spot. Fuck, was that good. And that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to give Bischoff credit. He took that bump. Mm-hmm. He's the only one of the night that took a bump off the top of the cage. Mm-hmm. Good for you.
And, at the ending, with Sting going to the top rope, and he's like, no. Yep. The top.
And he points up, and
Eric Young goes up there, and God bless him, gave him the elbow right up the top cage.
And the weird thing was, and we'll get to the match after, Jeff Hardy did not jump off the cage. Nope. That's fucking shocking. Mm-hmm. Not
Maybe
even
because
once.
of his age, or because he's a little broken down compared to then.
But... Well, he definitely got broken down, as we found out, but we'll get to that in a minute.
But yeah, impressive.
Yeah, very good match.
I don't know. I guess match tonight still would have been the tag match.
Yeah. There's no way. There was no way to top it. Yeah, it was a very good match.
This was a good end of end this big team feud that's going to continue on as a company
something else. Yeah, and again, that's where we go on about like the whole.
We go on into the Ace and Eights versus Ace and Eights just doing their thing after.
Yeah,
the match.
It's going to be the NWO completely now.
Yeah, so we get Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
With 8s and 8s interference.
Yes.
A little bit at the midway point.
Halfway through it started to happen.
Briscoe and Bischoff came in, but then Bully was just like, get the door.
Yeah, Bully and Jeff stood. No, this was later. Never mind. They both started pounding on him. Told Jeff to get the door.
Throw him both out. You're like, oh, is this where Bully might?
Yeah.
No.
It didn't happen. And it was funny though. I don't want to say it, but Briscoe even fucked up that.
Yeah.
He got caught up in the rope and just landed on his head.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you can't even get thrown out of the ring right now, man.
Mm-hmm. So, but it was a good match, good back and forth.
It was solid. I liked it. I liked the match a lot.
These guys have had wrestling history.
Actually, I wanted to talk about that because they did something in the very beginning, and as I've mentioned on the podcast before, and I know you know, I like when wrestlers they sort of break. They're not in character at all, and they just sort of look at each other or talk to each other and say something that's very non-kayfabe, and they're just like, "Fucking, let's go, let's do it." The first thing Bully said to Jeff right before the match began is he looked at him and said, "One more time." Mm-hmm. That shit like that sends shivers down my spine. I love that kind of shit. And he looked at him and just said, "One more time." Beautiful. Absolutely fucking beautiful. I love that shit. So that was cool.
So we get a good match, solid 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then we get the big
run-in. Yeah. The run-in. Aces and Eights show up.
They just blitz the cage.
And it's funny because if you notice, Bully Ray and Jeff both had chain wallet to do.
Well, he handed one.
He handed them a chain wallet to do.
They were back to back, and they were going to fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
And then Devon pulls the hammer.
Yep.
And throws it to Bully.
And Bully
turns around.
And
bang! Right over the head.
Yep. And
Hogan and Brooke came down to ringside halfway through the match to cheer on Bully.
Mm-hmm.
And they were shocked.
And they were freaked out. And they did a great job.
Yep.
Even Brooke did a phenomenal job.
Where's this acting?
I know. Where the fuck was this the entire time? However, I'm kind of pissed.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bully did win the match.
Yes, he did. He is the world champion, whatever, but I'm pissed at the direction they went with it. As we talked about last week, the best thing he could have done is say to Brooke, well, we're married. You have to follow my shit now. Yeah. And sort of force her into Aces and Eights and all that shit.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't know, dude, because then that's more Brooke on TV. You can't act.
True. True, but
would she not? And you could clearly see that she's really upset, and she can really sell upset really well.
Yeah.
So why not just have her do that?
True, but I don't know. I would have liked that. Even though I believe me, I've been railing on Brooke since the beginning of the show.
Giggity.
No, don't even joke about that. But no, I still think it's a lot more heat that way. Mind you, what he said to her.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
You can tell that TNA's not a PG program.
Yeah, certainly fucking not. Like that was. Good lord,
the dumb bitch cry.
Yes. Woo. Like, holy shit.
And, and that was a good speech at the end where he's like, I fooled you.
Yep.
I screwed you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I played you for Hogan.
I
screwed you.
And I tricked all of you.
And I fooled you.
That was good.
And then the only problem I had was that he stopped talking, and then he picked the mic back up to be like, I am the president of ACA. And so you're like, should have said that at the end.
You forgot, you dumbass, but, whatever.
But it was heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap, when those guys were standing in the middle of the cage and the garbage was just thrown in, and they were like shaking on the cage, like, come on, you better throw more garbage.
They knew what was going on.
And it was off the crowd and saying, throw more garbage, you piece of crap.
It was fucking great. And, seeing we've got the Dudleys back, man.
And, this is what I was going to say earlier, obviously, because this is the big reveal now.
Yeah.
Why isn't Devon vice president?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? Like, unless they change it up now, and maybe they will.
Maybe. Or maybe the co-president now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem kind of strange to have basically the tag team. Fucking Devon is sort of, what the hell is it? He's
Sergeant
like the sergeant. Yeah, like the fight. Whatever. But maybe Bully could be like, well, I need you out there doing all the heavy lifting or something like that.
So now we get, what? A couple months ago, these guys who look goofy in their masks, and they look like a joke.
Yeah.
And now they're all the masks are off. They're in the cage. They got all the tattoos and the vests, and they're just yelling at garbage. Now these guys look like an actual threat.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And we made fun of them immensely when we first started reviewing TNA. Now I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. I think it's
You have the president of Ace and Eights as your world champion of the company. You know, your Devon's the tag team champion, or the TV champion, and you would have to admit, see that they're going to get the tag titles. Who knows? Maybe they even will pull in some.
They might pull in the entire. Yeah, well, they got to pull in a knockout.
You know what I mean? To be the knockout champion for
Tara
them.
and Muscle Boy.
Yeah.
There's your knockout, right?
So you got to think somewhere down the line they're obviously going to get all the belts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's
by hook or by crook, and then you have Taz on the commentary,
and you got everything.
As long as Taz stays the heel.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good ending. It was a mediocre pay per view, but it was a good ending.
But it wasn't a bad pay per view. I would say
it wasn't terrible.
I mean,
obviously there have been reports that terrible, but
but whatever. I mean,
but that's TNA's stigma, of course.
I mean, there are certain people who are never going to give it a fair shot anyway, right? And since I've been back into wrestling, I would say this is definitely not the worst pay per view I've seen. You know, in the 21 episodes we've been reviewing, I could name a couple that are worse, and they were WWE the top priority. TNA pay per views are not always. They're not really.
Now there's going to be 4 of them a year.
Yeah.
The next one's in June 2nd in Boston.
They get a long time to build up feuds, so fucking A. And I think it means actually we're going to get some really good free matches on regular TV because they don't have all the pay per views, so.
That's why you get Hardy and Aries
to start a fucking show.
Impact.
It's good.
That's going to happen. So that was TNA.
Yeah.
Good go home show. Decent pay per view with a great finish. Kind of looking forward to tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's going to be the first one on the road, so the crowd reaction is going to be very strong.
Yeah, it's going to be big. You know, I assume more shit's going to be thrown at Bully Ray.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the Hogan Brooke Bully relationship. I like to see it. I'm really interested, and fucking my hat's off to TNA. You got me watching. You got me more interested.
So there you go.
Well done, sirs.
So
and madams.
Yeah, we get to WWE.
Yes.
We get SmackDown. I'm going to run through SmackDown nice and quick, because Raw was obviously more of
there was a little more interesting, let's say.
Yeah. So we get Swagger and Coulter at the beginning.
Yeah.
With Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez all getting into a fight.
Yep.
And then we have Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez doing a We the People skit.
Yeah. I like this. Wish I didn't see it twice, not going to lie.
Yeah, they kind of showed it on Raw.
That kind of pisses me off. Couldn't they have done another one?
There's another one on SmackDown, I think.
Is there? Okay.
So it's just I don't know why they didn't do another one.
I don't know. It was exactly the same. It kind of pissed me off.
But it was
whatever.
Funny.
Yeah, no, I liked it the first time I heard it. Basically they replaced
Rio, like people. Wait, Jack.
Wait, just say.
Okay.
No, I liked it. It was basically replacing Mexican people with Mexican food.
Yeah,
brilliant. It was well done.
It's tacos and burritos, delicious. Like it's funny.
Yeah.
And then he had the thing, and then the beard, and then
he had the
and
big
when he
gut.
said America, he went
America, which was great.
Fucking hilarious.
Yes, America.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That was funny. Obviously, Swagger and Coulter did not think so.
No, they really didn't. They were unhappy. I never see those.
Downright mad.
Sad people. Poor guys.
Speaking of poor guys, 3MB. 3MB.
Yeah.
Got into a match at Hell No and lost.
Yes, they
horribly.
certainly fucking did.
Hell No was obviously another week where they were a well-oiled machine.
Yep.
So good for them. Hell No's still winning, still champions for a while now. It's going on 200+ days by now.
Easily,
for their title run.
Great.
And they have been defending too. It's not like
they're
the clones that
defending.
had it for like almost 300 days, but they never defended.
No, they are defending almost in fucking Raw every night practically.
So Swagger got an Ziggler had an interview.
Yeah.
Typical Ziggler interview. How he's
the hottest shit ever. Yeah.
He's gonna steal the show. And even though he doesn't win ever, but
we have to pretend like he's gonna win sometimes.
Yeah. Ryback and Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a stare down.
A few times.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You want to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically measuring the crowd's reaction.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's all it is, to see if they can actually pull off a WrestleMania match.
Yep. This followed the Ryback Sandow match with Brad Maddox on commentary,
which was good. Which was really interesting.
Guy's funny.
He's good. I like him. Replace the other guy anytime.
Well, Josh Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews is just.
And they actually had a reason why JBL has been gone. He's fucking climbing mountain.
What?
He's on a mountain climbing fix for the last year. He's climbed a couple mountains. Actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it's all for charity, because,
that's cool. You don't need money.
You don't need money.
He's got money up the ass, so...
So that's cool. That's where he is. I'd explain that.
Well done, man.
So, and Ryback, speaking of mountains...
Yes.
He's a mountain of a man.
Nice segue.
Crushed David Sandow.
Oh, he crushed the shit out of him, but, it was fine.
It was funny to call Sandow, calling him a Neanderthal, and he barely knows the English language, and...
Yeah.
Probably not smart to make fun of him.
No, I'm not making fun of the guy who could eat me.
No.
I mean, his catchphrase is "feed me more."
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
Speaking of more mountains.
Yes.
Big Show. Interview. Yeah. Not happy.
No, he's
wearing
a
jobber
camper.
jacket. Not happy.
Yeah. Well, how could you wear a jobber jacket and not be happy?
I know. So he says he wants the Shield to knock him out.
He does.
Atypical stuff.
Yeah. He did give it. I think it was on SmackDown where he gave the speech of like, I don't care who's in front of me. I'll just punch anyone.
Yeah, I think that was the interview.
Which is it's confusing, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's
a tweener. It's a tweener statement.
Yeah, I guess.
But if he's gonna tag with Sheamus and Orton, he kind of has to be one.
Yeah.
And then we got this thing. I don't know if it was just on my copy that I watched. I don't know if it was From the Vault match. Where they literally showed an entire Heart Foundation versus Strikeforce match?
That's not on the one I saw, man. I didn't see it.
Okay, because the copy I saw, they had this weird segment where it was literally they just went from WWE, From the Vault, and they showed a Heart Foundation versus Strikeforce match.
I would have loved to see that. I wish it was on my copy.
And it was a
Heart
match.
Foundation Strikeforce, good match.
And it killed part of the time for SmackDown, so...
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I just had to pass it on to you because I obviously don't get to watch it on TV like most people because I got to work and stuff. Yeah. So I got to watch it
I didn't
on.
see it on TV either, but my copy didn't have that. So interesting.
That led to Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
With Alberto Del Rio winning. Alberto Del Rio is obviously working as a big face now with his moves, his spots.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Well,
I wasn't that impressed with this match because he's doing the typical super face, 5 moves of doom, and not much else.
Right.
I've always had a problem with that in the WWE, and I'm sure a lot of you people do. There's certain people who can do it well, certain people can't, and Del Rio, it feels like you're cutting his nuts off.
Right.
And this match wasn't impressive to me. I wanted to like it more.
To be fair, this match has happened like a billion times in the past 3 weeks.
But the problem is it's been better.
Yeah.
Previously, this match didn't excite me all that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
AJ got thrown water on.
Yep. That was.
She didn't melt.
No.
So at least we know she's not a witch.
Well, we can't be sure. She might be a different kind of witch. 5-year-old witch.
She was mad.
She's barely angry.
And she ran Daniel Bryan in the background.
Yeah, see, this was the part I enjoyed. It was basically her reaction and her trying to chase down Ricky Ricardo. Mm-hmm. That was entertaining. The match, not so much. Right. And that's sort of what pissed me off. But anyway, yes.
But D-Bry had a joke.
He did.
A little 18-second joke.
Yeah.
And then the big smile afterwards, like, and then he walked away.
I like Daniel Bryan a lot.
Mark Henry fought Yoshitatsu. Guess who won?
Yoshitatsu?
No.
Damn.
No.
I really was hoping that guy would win. Fuck.
Mark Henry squished him.
Yeah.
Like a bug.
Yeah.
And he won. Mm-hmm. So, keeping him strong.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus got an interview.
Yes.
Saying, he's going to fight the Big Show and he doesn't really care if he wants to.
Whatever.
Typical stuff. Caitlyn fought Tamina.
Don't care.
Tamina won.
Yeah, sure.
Which was interesting because she's not champion. So
no, but that's fine.
And then we had Cody and Caitlyn, more of that because Sandow's now getting involved.
Yeah.
He's just like, I got the restaurant all lined up, and he's like, what do you think of Caitlyn? She's an adequate worker. No, as a woman. And then he had some sorry. He's just like, she's all right, I guess. And he's just like, cool. Like, I guess that's a typical thing. The two guys would be like, hey, what do you think of so-and-so?
Yeah, well, apparently it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but I've heard guys do this. I'm not typical.
There you
go.
Yeah. Fandango.
I love this guy so fucking much. Oh my god, do I love this guy. He's done nothing, but I love every second of him.
He was going to have another match, but then Jillian
fucked it up.
Couldn't do it.
No, it was a shame.
Couldn't do...
Fandango.
How hard is that?
Apparently really hard.
How hard is that? Good God.
I don't know.
Anyways, just another night where he did not debut.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep doing this.
I love it way too much.
They're really going to keep doing this until he gets squashed.
Well, that's the thing. They kind of have to because this is a fucking terrible character.
Yeah.
And they're making it good by making it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, he always has a dance thing in the beginning of it, but
he has to.
That's not really part of his character anymore. It's all that he's just really into everything about himself. It's not necessarily the dance, which is exactly what they need to do. They kind of need to forget the dance thing, because the dance thing is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But this
it is
guy's
cool
awesome.
that every city he's in is a different person that comes out that dances with him. It's not like he has a ballet. It's
exactly.
Just whoever.
It's just like the local dance. That's really well done. Yeah. I like it. I like this guy a lot. God, I hope he doesn't suck in the ring. I've never seen this guy wrestle. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, Johnny Curtis. I think he was on NXT.
Was he?
NXT seasons.
Never saw it.
But that wasn't when I was watching NXT.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe I
can't
can
say
look
much.
him up. Yeah.
More Booker and Teddy stuff involving Fandango, where Teddy tried to say it.
Which was retarded, but whatever.
Yeah. This led to Sheamus versus Big Show in the main event.
Don't care.
No contest.
Yep.
The Shield got involved. Orton got involved.
Mm-hmm.
They chased off the Shield, and then the same thing happened where Big Show hit him.
Yeah, it was whatever.
It's going to lead to these three versus the Shield at WrestleMania.
Certainly, yes.
So
we've got new Super Friends. We've got what?
3.0.
3.0, yeah. We'll go with 3.0. Yeah, that's fine.
This led to Raw.
It did.
With a Paul Bearer tribute at the beginning, which was
beautiful.
very nice.
Loved it.
It was a very nice touch.
Undertaker
coming out,
doing
the thing with the urn,
with
and
the
then
fucking urn, everything was good, and then
Static,
of course,
CM Punk, nuclear heat.
Yes. Oh God, he was the most hated person in the world at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking, like, watching it, and I was by myself, and I even said, like, watching the Undertaker do it, I'm like, wow, this must be really hard for him. And then I hear the Static, and I'm like, oh, I hope they told Undertaker this was happening, because if not, someone's going to die.
Yes, we'll address it now.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's going to be the hot button issue.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Bearer's sons,
yes,
Kane and Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Those four got together with Vince McMahon, and everything was okayed.
Yeah.
Okay, now obviously there's going to be people on the internet who are going to call this tasteless.
No, it's not tasteless.
Because the man just died, and to use it to promote a WrestleMania match.
Tasteless, come on. Simple fact is, these people worked in the wrestling business. They know nothing is off topic. You do what you have to do to sell a pay-per-view. You do what you have to do to sell a show. Trust me, Paul Bearer, if there's a heaven, I'm not getting into that kind of thing. If he's sitting up there, he was staring down and smiling. Plain and simple.
My opinion on it is pretty much the same. CM Punk fucking did the same shit with fucking Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler almost died.
Yeah.
And and then Paul Heyman faked a heart attack.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
and Jerry Lawler, when he came back, the entire time he was making his own jokes about his own heart attack. Yeah.
So this is the wrestling business. It's a different beast.
Yes.
And I'm just going to make this nice and quick. One statement.
Yep.
If Paul Bearer, William Moody's sons, and Glenn Jacobs and Mark Calloway, The Undertaker and Kane, if those four guys who are his sons and pretty much his adopted sons are okay with this, those are family members, and they're okay with it, there's no reason for you or me or anybody else who never met the man or had a conversation with the man to call anything tasteless.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, the only reason why Rey Mysterio was WWE champion that first time, world champion, was because Eddie Guerrero passed away.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The only reason Chavo Guerrero ever got a push was because Eddie Guerrero died.
So
sorry, it's true.
It's true. It's unfortunate.
Yes.
And it's made this match more interesting. I don't want to word it like that, but it kind of has.
It's worked. Basically, what they attempted to do worked. Because now
you're going to get people on the internet going, this is tasteless, and CM Punk is an asshole.
And also, it gives them a reason. Punk and Undertaker had no reason to fight except for the fact that Punk wanted to.
Now, he wanted to take a streak from the fans.
Yeah. And Undertaker is not just going to do it because of the streak.
Yeah.
They needed a reason to actually have a match. Every single Undertaker match, even once they announced the streak, once they realized it, they've given him a reason to have a feud. Now they've got it. Plain and simple.
And you know what Tasteless is? Tasteless is saying that Paul Bearer's ashes are in the urn.
Yeah.
Punk's carrying around.
Yeah, exactly. That's tasteless. I don't think anyone would. No, they're just saying.
You know what tasteless is? Tasteless is CM Punk took a shot at Paul Bearer, but he didn't.
No,
he actually said "Rest in peace" and God bless him.
Yeah, but he took his shot at the Undertaker. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
So
my only thought in the beginning was, before I just heard what you say, were that they got together to do it. My only thought when it first happened, I'm like, I hope somebody told the Undertaker. Yeah. Because if they didn't, someone's going to get hurt.
And from what I heard,
if he's already down with it, then life is good. From what I heard
from the sheets on the internet, everyone got together and they said his sons were pretty much like, "Listen, do whatever you want." Yeah. But we want a tribute video at the beginning, which was very beautiful and very tasteful.
They got more than a tribute video.
And then they wanted tribute throughout the show, and they got that. Awesome. And they got that. They got Paul Bearer moments for the show, and even some wrestlers came out, pointed up. Yeah, it was
great. It was
Road Dogg was just like, "Mercy, mercy, this one's for Percy."
All that shit. Like, it was all good. Like, there was no disrespect. It's still wrestling. It's still a show. They got to put like. Yes, we did our little, our last episode was dedicated to him. Show had to go on. Mm-hmm. Shit had to still happen, and that was the thing. In the wrestling world, it's still, shit has to go on. Mm-hmm. It has to continue. Yes, they're going to use everything at their disposal. They always do.
And this led to the main event, you know what I mean?
It did.
So
and I'm sorry,
Kane freaked out.
Yeah, that was great. I love that whole thing.
And how he attacked CM Punk.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
And CM Punk going to Vicky Guerrero was fucking hilarious. Where he just walks up to her and goes, "Hey, he choked me." that was funny.
But we start off at the beginning of the pay-per-view. Big pay-per-view show, Raw. Which Big Show versus Seth Rollins. Which obviously never got going.
But it pissed me off.
Why?
Do not split up the Shield, even for a single match. You should never do that.
To be fair,
yes,
the match never happened.
Oh, I know, but it was supposed to.
Was it? Or obviously the plan is obviously.
Well, obviously the plan was that, but they shouldn't have billed it as that. I just think that's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it still led to them doing a triple powerbomb.
Yep.
On the Big Show, which is cool looking.
Yeah, no, it always looks good. I like the triple powerbomb. It looks good.
The Shield got their heat on.
They
good
did.
For them.
Yep.
And this is where CM Punk gets in Vicky's face. He choked me.
He choked me.
And then Vicky's got mad. Just, you know what? You and Kane, main event, no qualification. No, I'm not. No. And he literally just said, no, I'm not wrestling.
I'm not doing it. No.
No. And she's like, yes, you are. Now get out of my face.
That was great.
And he's just like, oh! And then he's just like a little kid just storming off.
He had a little bit of a temper tantrum. Now he's fine.
Daniel Bryan had a match with Dolph. And Dolph won a match.
Yes! Unfortunately, it was at the expense of Daniel Bryan, but whatever.
And Dolph bumps like a son of a bitch.
Oh, Jesus Christ, does he?
Jesus!
Yeah.
He's gonna hurt himself one of these days doing these bumps.
That was, Jesus, that was painful. Beautiful, yes, but fuck, man, watching him sometimes makes me go, ow. You're like Sin Cara, except you don't get hurt.
You're bumping on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's painful.
Of course, Big E came in with the big ending at the end there.
Which was fine. I mean, when is he getting a match? Seriously, this is getting annoying.
Maybe, how long did Diesel go before he had a match?
Not this long.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I feel like it was only like a month or two.
Yeah, well.
But, I could be wrong.
Less wrestlers back then, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. Funk Inc. Mm-hmm. We still haven't had an official name, so that's going to be their name.
Fuck, man.
They're going to, they're not going to fight.
Yeah.
Sweet Tea was supposed to fight Fandango. Who was not going to debut unless Naomi. I love it. You're just like, you're all better than this. Yeah. You're better than all of this.
I liked her face too. She seemed flattered. Yeah, I was like, that was pretty good. I like that.
I love how we called Justin Roberts Joshua. Yeah. He's like, Joshua, hand her the microphone.
It was good. It was really, that's interesting, and that could lead to an interesting sort of feud.
Yeah. And then Sweet Tea got mad and then said, Fandango!
Fandango, get in here!
And then, of course, he kind of scurried away because he's like, no, I'm not going to fight you. And then he, danced away.
I love this guy so much.
This led to Road Scholars.
Yes.
Versus the New Age Outlaws.
Now, are they back, or was this just a thing
Well,
again?
they were back last week because it's Old School Raw. And I think this week was used as a promotional tool for Brock versus Triple H because the match never got going.
No, it certainly didn't.
He still got the little tribute to Paul, which is cool.
Yep, which was good.
And the Rhodes Scholars thing was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
That was because it's an actual meme online where people actually like say something.
Yeah.
And then they translate it into what.
Oh no, I've heard this. Yeah.
What Damien Sandow would say instead.
I loved it. I was listening and going, okay, how's he going to do this? How's he going to do this? And it was good. It was really entertaining.
You haven't heard? Your posterior better contact somebody.
Someone. It was good. Funny. It was really good. I liked it.
The Outlaws are like, very funny, ladies. Now let's do the real deal, and then they did it, and then there was a quick match.
Yep.
Didn't really get
sort
going.
Of.
Didn't really get going.
Match, no.
Didn't really get going, and then Brock Lesnar hit the ring and beat the crap out of the New Age
God, it was painful to watch.
He just beat the piss out of him.
He kicked the crap out of him, that's for damn sure.
And then Paul Heyman, obviously the genius that he is, it's like, we accept.
Yep.
But
we're going to name the stipulation.
And we only named that stipulation after you signed the contract.
Which is interesting.
And I credit to Michael Cole, line of the night, the ultimate form of blackmail.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's one of those things. What are they going to do?
Because he broke your best friend's arm.
Yeah.
He broke your father-in-law in half. He made your wife cry.
Yeah,
he made your kids cry. And now the last remnants of Degeneration X lie broken because of Brock Lesnar.
Well, that's why Paul Heyman is a bloody genius, is that promo alone.
Brock Lesnar just standing there doing his little jump,
and
that's all. And that's all he needs to do.
That's all Brock Lesnar ever needs to do, so it's great. I'm interested. I want to know what the match is going to be. And
it's either going to be an I Quit match or some sort of submission. I'd imagine.
Submission, really?
Well, he has the Kimura arm lock, right?
True, but what does Triple H have? I guess maybe that's the point. I literally, as I said that, I'm like, that could work.
But then again, he's got Indian Deathlock and Figure 4.
True. And
unlike The Miz, Triple H knows how to do the Figure 4.
I would say something like I Quit, or maybe even First Blood, considering the cut open. Which it's not a WWE thing lately, but they do seem to be.
But it would just be a little nick.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's not
have
like
to be
they're
anything big.
Doesn't have to be.
He's definitely not going to be getting
Austin
exactly.
Crimson Mask back.
He's not going to be Crimson Masking it. But no, I think it'll be. With the PG is being extended a little further, let's say. So
they're getting a little bit more rope.
Yeah, it's not quite as taut, as a little slacked. So I think they might be able to do it.
Yep.
Which I think would be good, because First Blood would make a lot of sense with him being with even busted wide open.
Very much so.
Could be good.
We get our answer on Monday.
We do.
I think, or it might have been distracted, but we'll see.
I'm going to say it's going to be a yes. Well, so we're good.
We're good. Henry versus Kofi.
Whew.
Great.
Yeah.
Great spots.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Him kicking Kofi across the ring.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Kofi never gets a lot of credit for being able to sell.
And he sold the fuck out of that kick.
The shit out of that kick.
He got kicked and then he blew himself across the ring.
But it didn't look like he did it. That was the thing. I've seen some people trying to sell where it looks like they've jumped, and this was good. He looked like he got a pounding.
Yeah, and then he even got a move on Henry jumping off the stairs.
Which was shocking because it looked like it was going to be a standard squash. I never expected him to get any offense, so it was decent.
And then he jumped off the top rope.
Yep.
And fucking Mark Henry caught him.
My God.
Kofi Kingston stands about 6'2", 6'3",
yeah.
about 200-something pounds. Regular size man.
Yeah.
He got caught like he was a baby.
Well, that's the thing. Here's my point with... The reason I'm impressed with the catch is because most of the time when you see somebody catch someone, you can call it. Because they sort of jump into their arms. Kofi didn't jump into anything. He jumped straight up in the fucking air. Like, he was actually landed in... Yeah, he landed in Mark Henry's arms. And Mark Henry did not falter even slightly.
Caught him
like nothing.
Slam.
Yeah. It was like perfect. It was perfect.
That obviously led Henry to win. They're keeping him strong.
Yep.
That's cool. Cody and Caitlyn.
Yep.
More romance.
Of this, yeah.
More romance with Sandow coming in and bringing in the Bellas.
Yes.
The Bellas are back.
Which, interesting.
It's not surprising seeing that one of them is dating Daniel Bryan, and I think the other one is dating John Cena.
Oh.
So
then I guess it's not that shocking.
Yeah. So, and I think actually one of them has been dating Daniel Bryan for a while.
Really?
And the other one, and these are just pictures that surface over the holidays.
I see.
Where it was Daniel Bryan, the Bellas, John Cena, and the Bella's dad, all like in like family pictures at Christmas time. So
are Daniel Bryan and John Cena friends?
I guess they have to be now if they're dating sisters.
Yeah,
kind of. It's a lot of family dinners, sir.
I would guess so. Yeah.
So that's cool. I guess more divas.
Sure. Whatever.
Bellas are more arm candy than wrestlers, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they just become like fucking arm candy for the, even Sandow and Rhodes, that'd be fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It kind of would help if they had women.
Yeah.
It might be more interesting.
Ryback versus Slater. Ryback won.
Yeah, whatever.
And then poor Drew McIntyre. This poor bastard.
Yeah.
Mark Henry came out, and then him and Ryback proceeded to hit their finishing move on Slater multiple times.
Yeah, poor guy.
And halfway through, I'm like, stop it! He's already dead!
Yeah, it was... I didn't understand this. I was like, why are they killing the poor guy? What did he ever do to either one of you? Aside from existing.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
There you go.
I don't know.
Obviously still leading to Ryback Henry at Mania.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's happening now, because the fans seemed actually surprisingly into it. I'm interested.
It's going to be quick. It's going to be 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you give them 5 minutes to pound the shit out of each other, I'll watch it. I'll be good.
Cesaro versus ADR.
Yep.
ADR gets the win. Cesaro, great offense.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think they're actually starting to call it the European uppercut now.
Finally.
So,
what the fuck? It just
took
seemed
a
like the most
long
obvious, but whatever.
But the highlight of the match the match was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot better than the Ziggler match on SmackDown.
Oh, hell yes.
There was a tweet. You know how they do the tweet scroll?
Yeah, I was not paying attention, so you're going to...
There was a tweet from Ricardo Rodriguez who called Zeb Coulter #Jumanji guy.
Well done, sir. Well done.
So I think, in fairness, now when they refer to as
he's Jumanji guy,
refer to Mr. Zeb Coulter, it will be Jumanji guy.
Yeah,
because he kind of looks like the guy from Jumanji.
He kind of does.
Just a fatter version.
Yep, I'm in. That's the name.
So there you go.
Everybody's going to have a name before the end of this podcast. Yep. Not this episode, but in general.
Kane.
Yes.
Very silent interview. Very good. Looking down at the earth.
Good. Yeah, it was shades of old school Kane.
He's just like, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill somebody.
It was great. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
And Scholars.
Yep.
Previous in that
Cody
Sandow Bella thing. Vicky came in and made a match with
Yeah.
Sheamus and Orton because their match didn't really get started.
Yeah, I don't like this. But whatever, it was fine. I like.
It was an excuse to have a match with Sheamus and Orton.
That's the thing. I like Sandow a lot. I have no problem seeing him on more matches, so it's fine.
And Cole started calling them the Celtic Vipers,
which decent name.
I'm fine with that. I don't think they're going to use it officially, but it's a decent
I would
name.
hope not, because frankly, I don't want to see more of Randy Orton on TV.
Yep.
So
Shield attacked.
Yep.
On the stage this time. And fucking Seth Rollins did that sick-ass flying knee spot.
I've never seen that before. That's new to me.
Well, he hit Jericho with it a couple weeks back.
Did he really? I never saw it.
When they had that match with Jericho.
Yeah, no, I know which match you're on. I didn't remember seeing it. This was
even more impressive because he jumped off the thing. And
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this was the first time I'd ever seen that one, that specific type.
And
of
then
one.
it's cool.
Beautiful.
It's cool how Orton landed flat out in the right in the spotlight.
Yeah,
perfect spot.
It was. Oh, I'm sure it was planned, but still, fucking hell yeah! Like, well done.
Sheamus gets a spear on him, and the Shield conquer.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't pay too much attention to this match.
Yeah.
I was not.
Well, it wasn't a match. Yeah,
but I did. I liked the.
This
knee.
was all after
the knee
the
was
match
the
because
knee was
Sheamus
the thing.
and Orton did win.
Yeah,
but.
Like, the knee was the only thing that made me go, wow, look at that. And then I sort of went back to, like, texting or whatever I was doing. So I really can't comment too much on it.
So, obviously, they're still continuing the Shield versus these guys on the road to WrestleMania. Highlight reel. Budget problems for the highlight reel. Jericho even mentioned it. Like, we're going through budget issues. The Jeritron
I made the Jeritron disappear.
Yeah.
That was good.
Because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Right? So they had to get it out of the ring. So he's just like, I did a magic trick, baby!
I do like, he finally referred to the guys in the truck as monkeys again.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
The Miz and Barrett came out. They all got in a frick-a-frack.
So essentially, hey look, this guy's in a movie. Let's show the trailer.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep, well, whatever. This led to a match. Winner Brad Maddox came out.
Yep.
And made the match, kind of.
Sort of. Does he even have any power whatsoever?
No.
I didn't think so.
But he's just like, as high-ranking
that was something I meant to mention on SmackDown, is he who was trying to fucking fire, what's his name? The commentator guy.
Matthews?
Yeah, he was trying to fire Matthews.
He's like, you're fired. You're like, I don't work for you.
No, he literally was just like, wait till Monday, I'm going to fire you. He's like, you can't even do that. He's like, oh, I'll do it, don't worry. That was good.
Brad
shit.
Max
Anyway.
is comedy gold.
Yes, he's good.
But they had a match. Obviously, it went to a no contest because you can't have either of these guys beat the other guy.
Yeah,
and this is leading
really
to
bad.
next week, where it's going to be Miz, Y2J, and Wade Barrett triple threat for the Intercontinental title.
That'll be good.
Thumbs up, man.
Yeah.
That's a good match for next week.
That is a good match. I'm not a big fan of Barrett, but it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Miz,
Swagger?
Jericho, Barrett, good.
Swagger. Fighting Sin Cara.
Swagger.
And then Jumanji guy cut quite the promo.
Yes, he certainly did.
And it's funny because I don't think Sin Cara understood a goddamn word he said.
No, he didn't. He looked around almost like I swear, underneath that mask, he was smiling.
And he's probably like, I
He
don't know
literally
what he's
looked around.
saying.
Like, he didn't look angry or anything, so it was just
Well,
like,
you
yeah.
can't kind of look angry.
Well,
with
no,
the
he
mask on.
didn't seem like
He
he
didn't
wanted
be
to.
like,
He didn't do
"Come
anything.
on."
Yeah. Like, didn't somebody speaking Spanish had to be like, okay, here's what he's saying to you when he's speaking. Look
Like
angry.
he's got like a mic on
Yeah,
his ear or something.
something like, hey, dude, be a little angry or something. But no,
Show emotions.
He literally
Speak
was
with
just,
your hands, for God's sake.
It literally looked like he was looking around, like, okay, I'm gonna have a match in a second, right? Totally, yeah.
He's getting the ring, right? We're gonna wrestle.
Yeah.
Had a good match.
Yeah.
Flied around, didn't kill himself.
No,
which is always
although he did a spot that landed him on the outside of the road, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's dead. Oh shit. Oh no. But he got up, so I'm like, all right, he's fine.
Any match where he doesn't,
Any match where he doesn't get hurt, I'm happy. So we're good.
thumbs up. And Swagger won, and I guess they are officially calling it the Patriot Lock now, not the Act anymore.
I like the Patriot Act better.
Yeah. But I guess it's more of a reference where they're like,
I
what?
guess, yeah.
So they did a spot for the call.
Yeah.
With Kane.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
It was.
So, the whole is just like, well, you know how you write the Santa Claus? This is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But seeing that given the serious tone of his character that night...
Yeah, I didn't...
It didn't sync up.
It didn't play, no. It really didn't work.
Play, especially seeing that the match following this promo was the main event with him in it versus
absolutely.
Punk.
It was... Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know why they did it.
But whatever, the call's coming out. Go see it, I guess.
I guess. It just... Yeah, it really didn't work. I mean, it was funny. Like you said, it was funny, and place it on next week's episode, and I'd enjoyed it. But...
Or last week's,
Last week's, yeah, anywhere else, it didn't quite gel here.
Granted, I guess it is a pre-programmed bit, and they didn't know that the show was going to go in this direction.
And I think they had to do it. I think it was probably the only time they could, because I think it opens.
Yeah, it opens on Friday.
Yeah,
so,
they kind of had to.
So, whatever.
I think maybe do it on SmackDown, but...
Yeah, I guess. It happened. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
Punk had a match with Kane.
It was good.
It was a decent no disqualification match. I liked how Punk jumped him during his entrance.
Yep.
Kane won because of the Undertaker's bell.
Yeah.
Distracting Punk.
Which was good.
So,
I mean, it was good. It is a little strange that he's going over Punk this early because, he's going to be taking on the Undertaker, and we're supposed to believe that Punk can take out the Undertaker.
Yeah.
But
I think that was more of a Paul Bear thing,
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Bringing that back, obviously, because we're going to be discussing that for now, the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Punk stealing the urn.
Yeah.
Bashing Kane over the head repeatedly with it, and then stealing it and doing the
pose. That was good. Like, that's some really good shit. And now, that's going to piss off the Undertaker like fucking crazy, and it certainly did.
Yeah, and now at the end of this episode, Punk now has nuclear heat. Because, let's be honest, it was lukewarm at best. Yeah. Coming out of the big losses to The Rock.
Well, that was the thing. I mean,
and John Cena, for that matter. So he was losing a little bit of heat.
Yeah, so this definitely gave it to him. This gave it back to him, and it was good.
And
it was
unfortunate.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say it again.
It is unfortunate. It does. It should. We wish it didn't have to come at somebody's expense like this, but. Again, it's wrestling, as we said. It's
nothing sacred.
No, nothing is nothing sacred.
You've had Triple H just like Kane having sex with a woman in a coffin.
Exactly.
You've had a hand coming out of an old woman's.
I mean, so like all this shit.
They've done plenty of shit that would be deemed tasteless, and I know this obviously involves the death of a person.
Yes, and
it's unfortunate. It is, but they treated Paul Bear with the utmost respect.
They absolutely
never
did.
took a shot at him.
Nope.
No, CM Punk never said a bad word about him.
Nope.
Nobody on the show has ever said a bad word about him because you can't say a bad word about him.
No.
For all intents and purposes, he's one of the best people in the business, which is
which is rare in that business.
So they distributed them, and his sons were okay with it. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if his sons are okay with it, if his family, if his blood is okay with it,
yes, then
how can anybody random person on the internet be not?
That's
okay
the thing. You've got no leg to stand on when it comes to getting angry about it. You just don't. I'm sorry, you just don't have one.
I get the emotional connection.
Yes, absolutely.
That a fan would have, and be like, "How dare you use this for an angle?" But
trust me, I love.
But if you are a true wrestling fan, then you know that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as I was about to say, is like I loved Paul Bearer. I really did. He was one of the best fucking managers. He was amazing. But it's still wrestling. It's still the show I've grown up with watching them do this kind of shit. Mm-hmm. It's not shocking. It's not surprising. It's just really, it's good TV, plain and simple. And I mean, you could call me a horrible person for thinking that, but it's still good TV. It still worked. It still gave Punk the heat he needed. Because again, as you said, he was going in kind of lukewarm.
Yep.
Now he's fucking centric.
And I can guarantee you, and I hope this is true, because if they do continue, then it might be a bit tasteless.
Yeah.
It would be tasteless if they continued.
I don't think
But I don't think after this last Raw,
they're
going to mention Paul Bearer again.
No, they won't.
He'll probably have the urn.
You know what? If they do mention Paul Bearer, it's going to be just like, here's what he did. Like, they're going to show like a highlight of like last week's episode and show like this is what he did.
But CM Punk's not going to come out week after week and keep bringing his name up. He's not going to do that.
No, they won't do that. I don't. Well, they could. Like, put it this way, they could.
Because if they do that, then it is pushing it. Obviously,
it is. But I mean, at the same time,
don't make it the main angle.
But at the same time, again, nothing is sacred. So if they do it, it's not really going to surprise me, and I don't think it'll surprise you all that much. We'll be looking at it as okay. It's a little far, but again, not surprising. So, whatever.
So, that's what it was. That's the week that was wrestling. TNA had a good go-home show and a decent pay-per-view with an interesting finish that will now lead to more interest.
Yeah, I'm interested. I can't wait to see Impact.
And
it looks
Raw's SmackDown are now leading up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, those undercard matches are probably going to start being in a line, seeing that we're 3 weeks out from WrestleMania.
Yeah, they're going to be forming
as of next
solidifying.
Week.
Yeah,
so that's what there was.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. Twitter, pretty much. We have Twitter. If you didn't hear us last week, so follow us at Fedcast Podcast on Twitter.
The only reason why you and me would ever be on that.
Pretty much, because I'm not really sure. And if you're following us, bear with me. I'm not sure what to say yet.
Yeah, we haven't figured out what to do on a daily basis.
We will do. There will be stuff coming.
We're not exactly savvy.
No, I'm still like I literally put up my first real post, like my posting the episode last week on Twitter. My girlfriend did that, so I don't really know how to do it. I'm going to try and do it this week because I don't really know how.
Remember the hashtag, Steve?
Yes, the hashtag. That's the thing. I'm working on it. I will be starting to put up stuff once there's interest. But if you got any questions, whatever. Talk to us too. Tweet it.
Whatever. Get
chirp at us. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. Just talk to us and we'll respond.
So that's the week there was. You were Steve.
You were Justin.
That was another week of Fedcast, folks.
See you guys.